Hello, and welcome to 52 Weeks. This week we begin Chapter 6, which focuses on mobility. The chapter will be divided into 5 segments, and this will give us a holistic way to understand transportation planning. As the focus with the chapter is a holistic approach, the goals in this chapter are presented within particular themes that collectively create the overall transportation system. These include number 1, pedestrians, number 2, streets and circulation, number 3, vehicles and parking, number 4, bicycles, and number 5, transit. So this segment out of Chapter 6, Mobility, focuses in on bicycles. One of the goals here is to propose a bicycle network that is the entire city-wide. This was done back in 2014, which was worked on a little bit earlier than that in 2012 to 14. Here's an introduction to this segment. Harrisburg embodies all the conditions to become one of Pennsylvania's most bike-friendly cities. Its flat terrain, small scale, and gridded street network promote bicycle use for recreation, commuting, and errand trips around the city. The concentration of residential neighborhoods in surrounding municipalities such as Pembroke, Paxtang, Lemoyne, and New Cumberland provides a large potential pool of commuters who could shift to bicycles. In 2016, the city received the bicycle-friendly community status from the League of American Bicyclists. In doing so, Harrisburg aligned itself with more than 350 other communities across the U.S. in improving bicycle conditions, providing low-cost mobility and access to existing residents, and becoming more attractive to new residents. Bicycling infrastructure improvements are much less expensive than improvements for other modes, and more funding opportunities are becoming available from state, federal, and private sources. Federal programs include Safe Routes for Non-Drivers, formerly Safe Routes for Schools, Recreation Trails Program, Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Program, and we have the Federal Transit Administration programs. State programs include the Growing Greener programs. Private and philanthropic funding includes the Rails to Trail Conservancy. The purpose for the League of American Bicyclists in their purpose statement: for generations past and to come, the League represents bicyclists in the movement to create safer roads, stronger communities, and a bike-friendly America. Through information, advocacy, and promotion, they work to celebrate and preserve the freedom cycling brings to the members everywhere. While the on-the-street bicycle facilities such as bike lanes are limited in Harrisburg, there are a number of streets that are suitable for the incorporation of bike lanes or shared lanes, which are also referred to as sharrows. In order to make Harrisburg a bike-accessible city, it is important that the infrastructure improvements are coordinated to provide a continuous network of key destinations. This means ensuring that when a bike lane ends, cyclists are informed on how to continue their journey through methods such as pavement markings and wayfinding signage. Part of Harrisburg's amazing history, as we've talked about in Chapter 4, is the Capital Area Greenbelt. The Greenbelt was designed by Warren Manning in the early 1900s primarily for recreational use and was intended to meander, which it does not directly serve accessibility needs of everyday cyclists that are trying to commute. However, it is used as a daily commuting route by some workers. Its dual identity and location in the periphery of the city is a good foundation for connecting Harrisburg with regional bike infrastructure, and from which an intra-city network can evolve as Harrisburg becomes more bike-friendly. The key issues to think about within this segment: there are no on-street bicycle facilities linking destinations other than the shoulders of Riverfront Park in this segment of the Capital Area Greenbelt, which runs adjacent to the roadway. No regional connections between the Capital Area Greenbelt and other trails, including the Jonathan Eschenauer Memorial Trail, the Lebanon Valley Rail Trail, and the Cumberland County Bike Trail Network. Bicycle connectivity between downtown Allison Hill is limited due to a lack of separate bicycle facilities and poor conditions on Cameron Street crossings. High vehicular traffic speeds, particularly one-way streets, present potential safety issues for bicycles. And also the end-of-trip facilities, the short and long-term bike parking is limited. And one of the last key issues, bicycle connectivity to transit and secure bicycle parking to transit stations is limited. Although CAT does provide bike racks on their buses and has a recorded nearly 100% increase in cyclists using the bike racks between 2013 and 14, there's always room for improvement. Wrapping up this segment with looking at goals, Goal 3.13, create a complete network of safe bicycle facilities that encourages the use of bicycles within the city, providing public health, environmental, and economic benefits. Goal 3.14, provide cyclists with sufficient, well-maintained end-of-trip facilities throughout the city. Goal 3.15, prioritize and implement bicycle safety measures. And lastly, we'll go through some of the actions. Action M32, adopt, implement, and maintain a comprehensive connected citywide bicycle plan that details and prioritizes the creation of new bicycle facilities specific to Harrisburg. Action M33, perform annual surveys to measure bicycles on key routes within the city, utilizing cameras, sensors, or in-person methods to determine cyclist volume, identify significant safety issues, and inform implementation priorities. Action M34, adopt bicycle facility design guidelines that provide detailed guidance for the types of roadway treatments and lighting that should be implemented on local streets with bicycle racks and bicycle transit. Action M35, pursue planning and capital improvement funding for a citywide bicycle plan implementation through federal and state grants for active, recreational, alternative transportation, and congestion mitigation. Action M36, continue to improve Harrisburg's bike-friendly community status using the framework developed by the League of American Bicyclists. Action M37, regularly inspect and maintain bike lanes and other city-owned and managed bicycle facilities. Action M38, help businesses and academic institutions apply for bike-friendly status. This concludes this segment focused on bicycles in Chapter 6, Mobility. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please continue on the rest of the segments for this week. Enjoy.